Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here to learn about our research. Thank you very much. So as you can see from the title, my topic is related to the 9/11, the terrorist attacks of 9/11, specifically on the World Trade Center and on the other places in New York. Because of the topic, some of the images and some of the issues that I will talk about might be a bit distressing, so my apologies for that. Now, what are some of our emotions or reactions when we look at this image of the hijacked plane running into one of the towers of the World Trade Center? Shock, anger, sadness, terrified, probably all of these. 9/11 was such an iconic event in all of our lives. Many of us have been affected directly or indirectly, and we all can kind of specifically remember where we were or what we were doing when we first heard about these attacks. I remember as a high school student, back then I was in India, I was exposed to this news on newspapers and radio, because television was not allowed in my house. My household was pretty strict. And I remember that the sheer magnitude and the diabolical nature of this attack was shocking. Now let us think for a moment about these individuals. Who are they? These are the people who responded to the terror attacks. They participated in the search, rescue, and recovery operations post 9/11. They went in there day after day, months after months, sometimes maybe for even a year. They were exposed to the physical, the chemical, the psychological aspects of these events. They help in recovering dead bodies, helping the injured, clearing the place. And they are heroes, they are held as heroes, which is all true, but they are also human beings. Many of them were not in the law enforcement, although some of them were. Many of them were civilians who were trying to help and doing their best. But this does take its toll. We all have heard probably about post-traumatic stress disorders, or PTSD as it is known as. It is hardly surprising that 3 out of 4 World Trade Center responders have experienced at least one symptom of PTSD. Stony Brook University monitors 8 to 10,000 of these World Trade Center responders as a part of a program organized by the CDC and the NIOSH to monitor these individuals. And the symptoms of PTSD, like insomnia, flashbacks, nightmares, are extremely common among them. One of the things I, as a researcher, is interested in is what makes some individuals more vulnerable to post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms while others are not. Because think about it, all of them were exposed to this trauma, yet some of them had more symptoms than others, or some of them did not have at all. What is it? What are their other experiences that may be playing a role? And this is where childhood bullying comes in. One of the pieces in the puzzle that my research has shown is that being exposed to bullying as kids, being exposed to bullying in childhood, made them 5 times more likely to experience PTSD symptoms. 5 times more likely. Now just think about it. These are all individuals who have moved on with their lives. They are doing more or less well, and yet the scars of their childhood bullying are still affecting them, are still bothering them. So what are the takeaway lessons from this? One, we need to be mindful of, from a clinical perspective and a public health perspective, we need to be mindful of these prior experiences that shape us, that shape how we feel today. And most importantly, we all need to do our part in stopping bullying, and to prevent bullying, we need to do whatever we can. With that, I thank you again for your kind attention.